Alright everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this video along Highway 4 as we crossed Ebbetts Pass here in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California. So out of all of the crossings of the Sierra Crest here in California, this one is definitely the narrowest and features some of the tightest curves and some of the steepest grades as well, with grades here on the east side of the pass exceeding over 20% and maximizing at 24% in some places. So this is my third time actually recording Ebbetts Pass here on YouTube. I released a video going over the Ebbetts Pass National Scenic Byway around 2013, and then I uploaded another series of videos going over the pass in 2015 or 16. I can't remember what year exactly, but it was like a few years after my first series, and this is my third go around filming Ebbetts Pass here in California. I would like to think as the years have gone on, I've gotten much better at making these types of videos, and these older videos are no longer viewable on YouTube. I've actually deleted them within the last year or so just because I didn't really like how they turned out. And of course, they were sped up way too fast for this road right here. You probably got motion sickness just watching those older videos if I'm being perfectly honest. But this video is barely sped up past real time. I think it's like something between like 1.5 and 1.8 times or something like that in these videos right here, which is a lot more appropriate for this type of road right here, because if you drive too fast on this road you can get motion sickness just because of all the tight curves and everything like that. It really feels like you're driving on a roller coaster when you're on this road, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I've actually known a few people who can't even drive this road because of the extreme risk of motion sickness and just the fact that it's very narrow, and some people can even get claustrophobic just driving this road with how narrow it gets in some places. But with all that said, it's definitely worth driving if you have the courage to drive it, because it is very scenic, especially here on the east side. This is designated as a National Scenic Byway after all. It's just one of 7 or 8 in California if I remember right. And something that's really interesting too is there's really not that many places to pull over to get views of the mountains that surround you here in the Carson-Iceberg wilderness, which is mostly what we pass through here on Highway 4. I tried to find a few spots to pull over there as we came up over Pacific Grade Summit, but there really wasn't that many places to pull over, and you're really in the tree cover for most of this drive, so it can be very confusing to think of this as a National Scenic Byway, especially if you're just going through trees the entire time and the views don't really open up in many places. But yeah, it still is very scenic here on the east side. Like I said, the views looking out here to the east of the Sierra Nevada mountains are just a sight to behold in person, and we couldn't have asked for better weather when we were driving this road either. And we passed through here in mid-October, and the fall colors here with all the aspens and everything like that were pretty much at their peak. Typically the fall colors bloom a little bit earlier than they do this time of the year, but I guess for some reason the fall colors were a little late to change this year, maybe because of the wet winter that we had, because usually in early October is when these fall colors usually peak in this area right here, but this year's a little bit different, and I think it had something to do with the wet winter that we have. I'm not sure. But let me know in the comments if you know why the fall colors were a little late this year in the Sierra Nevada mountains. So yeah, my grandpa and I certainly had a fun time driving this road. We stopped at as many places as we could and could safely do, because there really isn't that many places to pull over along this road because of just how narrow it is, and the fact that there's really not much of a shoulder here to really pull off and enjoy some of the scenery as well. So yeah, we had a great time. It's definitely a nail biter if you're driving this for the first time, but don't let that scare you. This is still a really fun and unique road to drive here in California despite the dangers that it could present. And one thing you should note about driving this road is that there is absolutely no cell phone service from roughly the Calaveras Big Trees area, way over there by Arnold, all the way through the eastern side of the pass until you start getting up there towards the Highway 88 and 89 junction up there by Woodford's. There's not even service in Markleyville or along Monitor Pass or anything like that, so just keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling along this route. And another thing I should mention too is that this road is only open in the summertime for about 4 to 5 months out of the year. Typically the road is usually open by Memorial Day. Caltrans always tries to have all of the Sierra mountain passes open by Memorial Day, weather permitting of course, and depending on how much snow is up there in the Sierra Nevada mountains from the previous winter. And then of course this road right here will close after the first major snowfall. Caltrans will not put any effort into plowing this road if they don't have to. Obviously, just look at the road and you can probably answer your own question right there. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you're going to be driving this road. The best time to do it is between June and early November. And with all that said, folks, I really hope you enjoyed this ride here along Highway 4 as we cross the Sierra Nevada mountain range. My grandpa and I certainly had a fun time driving this road, and I really hope you enjoyed riding along with us. Stay tuned to the next adventure, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.